Developing tonight, LA City and county officials are celebrating a drop in homelessness for a second year in a row. New data shows homelessness in the county dropped 4%, while in the city dropped almost 3.5% compared to last year. Officials credit sustained investments in addressing homelessness from the city, county, state, and federal government.
Lasting change was only possible because we chose to act with urgency, and we chose to reject the status quo, which has been leaving people on the street until housing was built. The notion that you should stay in a tent until permanent housing is built is unacceptable and is rejected. That's what I mean when I say disrupting the status quo.
Mayor Bass says she received a message from Governor Newsom congratulating the city of Los Angeles on the achievement.
For more, let's bring in John Rigardi, political journalist who writes about homelessness for the West Side Current and other publications. John, good to see you.
Thank you.
All right, so Inside Safe, very expensive. And it is reducing homelessness some. And it's the only time since there's been the count that it's been reduced 2 years in a row, so some credit for that. But is Inside Safe, this concept that we're going to reduce homelessness by 2026, are we anywhere close to that working?
Well, to reducing homelessness by 2026, clearly not by virtue of the 72,000 people in the county of Los Angeles who are still homeless. But Inside Safe was, created by Karen Bass. It was her signature effort, primarily to address the encampments. Since she took office, that has addressed about, 95 encampments, got about 4,300 people into temporary housing, 1,000 into permanent housing. It is one of the many tools, but it's also an extraordinarily expensive tool. I was just looking at the city controller's website. It says $450 million has been spent on Inside Safe. That includes outreach, purchases of buildings, etc. It's a lot of money. But again, as you referenced, Alex, the count is going in the right direction, finally.
Well, and you credit the Homelessness Prevention Unit as having an impact on the drop. Again, we're talking about a 3.5% drop. We're not talking about a 20%, 30% drop, 3.5% in the last year compared to last year. This Homelessness Prevention Unit, also known as HPU, it's been around since 2020. Very few people know about this.
Yeah, Marlon, it's really interesting. It comes out of the UCLA Cal Policy Lab working with the county, and they actually try to anticipate using a lot of different factors, people who are at risk of becoming homeless. And so they try to step in and prevent them from winding up on the streets through identification and working with county officials. There'll be counseling. There can be things such as, a one-time subsidy of up to about, $6,000 or so. And they have found that this has been successful at helping prevent people from falling into homelessness in the first place. Again, a relatively small number, but it is easier to prevent someone from becoming homeless than to help someone who is on the streets, all the money, expenses to get them back into interim and then permanent housing.
So as I mentioned, during the campaign, Mayor Bass and Rick Caruso both gave huge numbers of the amount of people that they were going to get off the street when they were in office. The number now for unsheltered homeless, which is different than the overall homeless number, was down about 8% last year, about 10% the year before that. But in order to do what she was talking about, it needed to be down like 70, 80%. How did she and the government sort of explain the discrepancy there?
Well, they explained the discrepancy by saying it is a process. And look, there certainly is something notable. Within the city right now, about 27,000 unsheltered individuals. Huge number, but 6,500 fewer than there were just a couple years ago. So it is definitely progress. It's, Alex, as you just referenced, not the 70 to 80% progress that needs to be seen. But again, this is expensive work. When you are trying to get someone off the streets, that person may be mentally ill. That person may have substance abuse. That person may not trust government. It takes a long time, a lot of money. But yeah, I do not think that we are going to be eliminating street homelessness anytime soon.
Noting all of that, could that progress be derailed because the city is in a fiscal crisis?
That's one of many things that could derail and could delay this process. Obviously, the city dealing with a $1 billion budget deficit. When there's less money for that, there is less money to do the type of things we just spoke with. There have been a lot of talk. City council has already been looking at potentially cutting back some of the funds, looking at solutions, including trying to get 2 people into a tiny home instead of 1. I think we're going to see a lot of different things, where things will be squeezed because of the ongoing budget crisis. And issues then related to budget and money, even from beyond Los Angeles.
Still, a good week for Mayor Bass, reducing homelessness, lowest homicide number in 60 years, and beating Donald Trump in court. All good headlines if you're a Democrat running for mayor of Los Angeles. John Rigardi, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Marla.